Where are you at, Jeff?
Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is
What's
going
up,
on,
guys?
Chip? What is up, man? Damien, I'll tell you where we're at. We are right here. That's where we're at. Tonight is Ripple XRP. Deaton is calling out Gary, the G-Man, Daddy G, and Stellar is moving in on Ripple's action.
No,
How do you like that? Man, they're
not
moving
possible.
in. They're moving in.
No,
They're
no, no,
moving
no,
in.
no. They're
They're
not.
moving in.
No.
That's what's happening. It's exactly what's happening.
Okay, you ready?
I'm
Ready to do
ready.
this? Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Whoa. Jeff, I got breaking news. Breaking news.
Breaking. You've heard it here first.
Are you guys ready for this? Last night we featured the story. If you watched yesterday's video, Constitution DAO won the auction at Sotheby's. They raised an incredible 45 million USD equivalent in just a week. This thing popped up out of nowhere last week, Jeff. And do you know what the winning bid was? Can you guess what the winning bid was on this puppy?
45 million.
No, 41. So there's like 4
41.
million. I don't know who they're bidding against, but probably somebody was just bidding against them, knowing they could keep going.
Which Constitution did they buy? That's what I want to know.
It's one of the there were I think 10 or some original copies of it, and there was only one privately held that was now being auctioned.
So we're talking about the Constitution.
We're talking about one of the constitutions. They
the original.
They made copies of them. There's a bunch of them that were original from back in the 1775-ish, 1776 when they wrote it, and this was one of the few privately held copies that was being auctioned. Yeah, and we'll talk about it a little bit more later, but I just thought that was pretty interesting. I thought it was pretty good. Hey, Steve Willis, good day. Good day, mate.
Good day. Good day.
I love to pretend I'm an Aussie because it sounds so cool, Jeff.
Good day.
It doesn't. If you say good day being like it with the American accent, it just doesn't work.
Good day. Good day.
Good day, my fine fellow. Good day, my fine fellow. Good day. Yes.
Well, yes, it
I feel
is.
like I'm doing an elliptical machine, Jeff. Yeah. So what do we have here?
Steve?
Yeah. Did somebody say bidet? What did you say?
Yeah.
Bidet. Good day, mate. Good day, bidet. Yeah, that's what we have to do. And good evening, says Annie, Brito, and we got Kelly Slade in here. Yay, what's going on, Kelly? A lot of OGs in here tonight. Love that.
Man, that's awesome.
Of course, Steve Willett's in here. Rip wood chip. I don't know what that
means. So why don't you guys give a quick shout out to where you're tuning in from as you come into the room here, whether you're watching live with us right now or you're watching on the replay. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Why? Because we have people tuning in from all over the planet. Everywhere. You know, at some point we're going to have someone tuning in from the Antarctica. I know we got people from all over.
How about the moon, Jeff? When the moon, we'll be tuning in from the moon. The proverbial moon, which will be just different than the actual moon, but
we got Chimpy coming in from Birmingham.
Yeah, that's good.
Birmingham, UK.
Beautiful Birmingham. They say Birmingham. I've been there, Jeff.
Darcy's in the Bahamas.
Bahamas are great.
Now, Birmingham is kind of like a very industrial part of England, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I think, what did I do when I was there? I think I saw like, who's somebody's famous houses there? I was like in a garden, mostly beer gardens, Jeff, because that's like really what there's to do in the summertime there.
Beer gardens are great. Pubs and beer gardens.
Yeah, just fantastic.
But as you get over there, you can get Fullerton. Man, Fullerton, that's a nice beer.
Oh, they're fantastic beers. Yeah,
that's a good one. So we've got Robert Gibbs is tuning in from my basement. That's kind of funny because I don't have a basement. So
that's creepy.
Kind of tough. He's gonna be like underwater.
It's like, get out of the house, Jeff. Get out of the house. It's like some horror flick, right? Get out of the house, Jeff. You got to run.
People under the stairs. What happened? My lighting is perfect today. I don't know what happened. I set it up early.
Mine is like,
and Robert's like that. Perfect. Look at that. No glare, no nothing. It's like perfect.
Says Gibbs.
Perfect. I got to look at the way it's set up today and say, perfect. It's awesome.
Saludos desde Madrid, España. Yeah, very beautiful. Spain is beautiful. Beautiful place, Jeff. It really is.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you that another place that has very underrated wines. Everyone thinks like the great wines come from France. And I tell you, Portugal and Spain, phenomenal wines, Jeff.
True, they do have
Just
some
really
good
great.
wine.
Of course, the sangria. Sangria is freaking the best, man. They make the best
You get
sangria
some
there, but
good wines in Italy as well.
yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yep.
Italy, yeah. That's another part of my
Steve was saying he
heritage.
thought I'd be more of an attic kind of guy. You know what? We do have an attic, but our attic
Is it
is
like it's
scary.
more like is it over your garage there area there?
No, it's above the top of the house.
Oh, it
So
is.
you
Okay.
actually our attic is accessed through the master bedroom closet. So you
Oh,
have to climb up from the master bedroom closet,
right.
and then you can go into the attic. Then you can access that part of the house.
That's the way my last house was. It was
This
massive up
isn't.
there.
It's not like one of the when you go to upstate. You know, when you're up north, you got
Yeah.
basements and attics. My parents had a basement and an attic, and people lived in it. You could live in the attic, or I shouldn't say
Yeah.
live, but there were rooms up in the attic. It's kind of cool.
It's all
Basements
very
are scary. Yeah.
It's all very possible, Jeff. So what's the first thing on
The
the
first
agenda
thing
for
for tonight,
tonight?
man, is I want to go straight into this tweet from John Deaton because
Johnny
I would
D.
Johnny D, because it's funny because I had put something in there and then Chip's like, hey, that first topic that you have, I covered that yesterday, but I covered it in silence because I was muted for 5
No,
minutes.
I redid it, Jeff. It was all good. Nobody could tell on the replay because I said, okay, I tortured everybody because they watched me do it silent. That was a silent movie version. Then I watched me do it again. But I was like, I watched the beginning of it. I'm like, I kind of pulled it off a little bit rushed because I felt like I already did it. But to everybody else, they're like, Jeff, why are you rushing? I
That's
mean
right.
like Russian as in like,
What's up with the Russians, anyways?
drinking the vodka, all that stuff. But yeah,
We
let's
might
run
have a couple
into
of
it.
Russians that tune in here. I don't know. I don't know if Russians tune in here. Not really sure. The
Like a
Russians.
whiskey drink.
They got good vodka.
You drink a vodka drink.
They drink the
You drink a lager drink. You drink a cider drink.
nice.
You drink the songs that remind you of the good times, Jeff. You sing songs that remind you of the better times, something along that. By the way, that's in my head. I was just running out somewhere and that thing was playing. It was driving me insane, Jeff.
That's
It's
awesome.
going to be through. I'll wake up tomorrow morning singing.
Everyone's gonna think
I
about it
get
now.
knocked down, but I get up again.
I
I'll be
get up
doing
again.
that. It's ridiculous. Before we do that, let's get into this right here because right here,
All right.
there's another OG, Doc's Gambling. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Say XRP and your guest,
in a
Gary.
while.
Do your best Gary Gensler voice.
MIT.
XRP from MIT
MIT. Chip,
is
did
an
you know that
investment contract.
that he taught at MIT?
Yeah, he reminds us every chance he gets, Jeff. He reminds everybody.
Every
He
conversation.
could use a
All
few
right.
whiskey drinks too. I could tell you that. I could
He
assure
definitely
you.
needs a couple.
Thank you for
whiskey
that,
drinks.
Docs. Appreciate that. He could drink several drinks at the same time. Maybe a milk drink. I don't know. He's a weird dude.
Yeah, maybe he drinks Zima.
Oh, Jeff, that went out with the 90s, I believe.
Hence is why he drinks it. They
That was
probably
the
don't
most
make it anymore.
disgusting stuff
was
ever.
the
I tried it
worst.
once. Horrible.
It was disgusting. It was horrible. Yep. But check this out. So I posted the letter to Dr. G, to Daddy G.
Dr. G, if you will. Dr. G.
Dr. J. Have you
Dr.
gone
J
around
is
to
way
see
cool.
the doctor?
Dr.
G.
G. Johnny D. Get it right.
Johnny D and Dr. G.
There we go.
So Johnny D over here is talking about the XRP holders. So it's interesting because he had that open letter to Daddy G yesterday that you covered. Today he's continuing on with his tweet. He said 61, man, we were talking about 30,000 and 40,000. Now it's 60,000, 61,000, right? XRP holders with no connection to Ripple. Chip, do you have a connection to Ripple?
I don't, Jeff. I'll be honest with you. I have no connections whatsoever. But, I'm willing to learn. I'll
Nice.
try to make a connection if I can.
All right. So 61,000 with no connection whatsoever have asked for a brief meeting with Daddy G. And you know how Daddy G responded, Chip?
Nothing, Jeff.
Nothing. Zero. Not even like a thank you letter. Not an email. Not a text. Not even a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a frowny face. Something.
It's disrespectful,
right?
Jeff. Very disrespectful.
Apparently, Jamie Dimon is more important than 61,000 individual XRP holders. Now, DAI, who's a wild speculator, as we know, and occasionally a researcher. Oh, that's in his title. So he said, hey, John D., maybe you've got the wrong Gary Gensler email address for the open letter. apparently it's not just George Soros that Daddy G has time for while he ignores XRP investors. Why?
Wow.
Because he's also meeting with the man, Jamie Dimon. He's a big supporter of Bitcoin. Not so much.
No, he's a big.
Check.
He hates crypto. He's a like-minded MIT. Did he go to MIT, by the way, Jeff?
I don't think so.
Andy
don't
Barr.
know.
That's interesting.
But Jamie Dimon, I don't know. He was like, he's old school, man. He might not have gone to school. He's the business guy. He started it. You know, he's behind it. He's the guy behind the guy. I don't know. So Neil over here was saying he doesn't think he needs to answer us, right? As he knows best, right? We're all way above his pay grade, but he knows best because he went to MIT. And of course, the investors he's protecting are the likes of George and Jamie. Retail just need protecting from gaining any wealth, as we wouldn't know what to do with it. Own nothing, be happy, right? I mean, that's pretty spot on. I like that. They always twist that, that knife in the side of the retail investor, always trying to get a little bit more out of them, so they, just keep oppressing, keep people down, right? Is that the objective here? I don't know. I thought this was pretty solid, though.
I think I might put that up again, Jeff. Well, let's take another look at that. I want to see who else is he meeting with. Let's see. So Andy Barr, Israel Securities Authority, right? Because okay.
That's important because he's got to tell them what to do also. He's like, hey, you guys over there are doing the wrong thing.
But
with his staff. This was all September 29th. So this was already like
it already
happened. It was like a
happened.
month ago. This is like old news.
Yeah, but I'm still trying to understand it here, because if you look at Andy Barr here, here's Andy Barr. That's Andy. That's who we met with. Andy. He's a Republican from Kentucky's 6th congressional district, and I'm just curious, you don't really see him on any of the crypto bills, so this is probably non-crypto related. What would he be meeting with him about? You know what I mean? Related. I'm looking into just trying to understand.
Well, what committee does he sit on? What's the committee?
That's a good question, Jeff. I don't have the answer to that. But let's see what he has here. Let's see if we can find out. Is he? Who knows? Committees and caucuses. Let's see.
There you go.
Financial services.
Oh, there you go. That's why.
Yep.
He's on the big bill, or on the big committee.
Yeah, he's on the rank. He's the ranking member of the subcommittee, national security.
There you go.
Here you go. Consumer protection and financial institutions. There we go, Jeff. They're going to pretend that they're out to protect you, the investor. That pretend scenario again, Jeff.
Interesting.
Right? That's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
That is something else. I'll tell you. So, Jeff, I wanted to cover this headline here real quick. I thought it was interesting only because it might be the dumbest headline I've seen in a long time. And that will maybe be for like 5 or 10 minutes, but let's look at this thing. First of all, let's just not laugh at the first sentence. This is from CoinTelegraph. Could CBDCs be an alternative to crypto adoption? I don't know, Jeff. Is that the dumbest thing you've heard of? Well, the Russian central bank believes so. Well, of course a central bank would think so, as it reveals more details about its upcoming digital ruble. Really, Jeff?
Like the digital yuan?
Yeah, and so here's the story right here. It says the Bank of Russia, which is a central bank, views the CBDCs as a responsible alternative to Bitcoin. Yeah, if you want how is it responsible to lose its value on a second-by-second, minute-by-minute basis? It says it wants to take fees from CBDC, alternative to Bitcoin, and wants to take fees from CBDC transactions.
Dude, that's brilliant. What a brilliant thought process. Like right now you make no money. Well, you can get your tax dollars or your tax money on transactions. But now they're like, hey, you know what? We created digital currency. We're going to tax you. Plus, we're going to charge you a fee to transact with our digital ruble. So screw you. You're paying 1% to 1.5% every time you use our digital money. That's your problem, not ours, because we're making 1% on every transaction. And someone's getting rich.
And look at this. The digital currency is designed to act as a third form of money alongside cash and non-cash. They're actually talking about non-cash. Non-cash.
Non-cash.
I don't know what it is. That might be the barter system, Jeff. I think that's called the black market.
That could be credit. Is credit considered cash, or is that non-cash?
I don't know. Crypto could be considered non-cash too because we buy
Could be.
assets. We don't buy assets. We sell dollars.
I
Remember
like
that,
the
Jeff?
bartering. Let's barter for it.
So
In Russia, they probably still barter.
you pretty much barter anyway. So the Bank of Russia's governor Elvira believes that adopting CBDC should serve as a good option for governments to replace private crypto like Bitcoin. Now, Jeff, explain to me how a coin, let's say the ruble, right? So the ruble is notorious for being up and down. It fluctuates a lot. So why would that be better than Bitcoin, where it took a little bit of a hit? Okay, everyone's like, "Whoa, my God, Bitcoin dumped." Yeah, that's one way to look at it. But you could also look at it like, "Wow, that's a great entry point." So it's down,
That's
I think it was
great.
around 56,
Wait,
57K.
what's the entry point of a ruble CBDC? Is it 1 ruble?
It's 1 ruble, and its value goes down on a daily basis. So why is
It's
that an
perfect.
alternative?
It's awesome.
When the central bankers start telling us, "Oh, really good idea," and then also, Jeff, the other thing we hear is like, inflation. It's really welcome. We should have more. We
Dude,
have more
inflation is
money.
awesome. You know why
By the,
inflation's great? Because the cost of everything goes up.
by the way, I had a movie. I was wondering if I should play it because it's Senator Warren. She was on a TV show. She was talking about. It was just revolt. It was just. I mean, not even an ounce of economic understanding. But she was
Oh, it's
going on
brilliant.
and talk.
It's
Yeah,
like
it
a
was.
comedy show. Wasn't it
It was
like she was auditioning for SNL, Saturday Night Live or something?
Yeah,
Is
well,
that-
she should be because that's not funny anymore either. So I think it'd be welcome. But I'm like, and
Yeah,
I
that's
forgot
a sad state, Chip, when reality is funnier than comedy.
Well, yeah, I know. There isn't any comedy anymore, Jeff. Everybody's offended. But it says, we maintain an extremely negative stance on cryptocurrency. Of course you are. You're a central bank. The whole idea of that word central, Jeff, as private currency is a claim to be money. Well, they also claim to appreciate, which they do, and faster than almost anything. You could have bought almost any digital asset, Jeff, 6 months ago. And I
It'd be worth
think
more
just
than a
about,
ruble.
and it'd be worth more than, well, it would have gone up, right? I mean, for the most part, a lot of them are up. But as
Yeah.
people need alternatives, we should work on this with the help of our projects. We should develop the digital ruble, as I've already said. So now she's repeating herself. This is ridiculous. I mean, what more would you expect from a central bank? But geez, Jeff, come on. They're like, oh my God, it's just an alternative to Bitcoin. No, it's not even. I mean, if you
Not
said
even in
it's
the same realm.
well, Jeff, if you said it's an alternative to coin number, the coin that's 4,689 place, yeah, maybe,
It's
but not
maybe
an alternative
comparable
to number
to
one.
no, it's comparable if you have the USDT version of the ruble, so the USDR, their
Oh, jeez.
CBDC would be comparable to the USDR almost. Not 100%. And the reason why it wouldn't be is because their CBDC is completely centralized and controlled and manipulated by the government agency and the central bank. Right. So if they decide that, Chip, your social score tomorrow is bad, guess what? You can't take money out of the bank. You can't spend your digital asset
You're done.
or your digital currency, your digital ruble or whatever it
Yeah.
might be. Not just singling them out
Jeff,
because it could be the digital you want too.
the other day, this has been going on. I always think of this, a great T-shirt idea, for our merch store. CBDs, not CBDCs. That's it. Get down with CBD, not CBDCs. Right? I mean, I think that's a better. I think that's a better. Drop the C, and we're going to be golden. That's what I'm saying. Just saying.
That's awesome.
Look at this right here from Docs. He says,
That's
yeah, they want us to be slaves. They want to make all the money, destroy the country, and it doesn't matter because they have and own everything. We're just worker bees for them. The Matrix. We're batteries. But Jeff, one of the things that always occurred to me, like sometimes when I'm watching a movie, there's always a suspension of disbelief. Now, I was watching the original Matrix thing, and why did they have to be on an analog phone in a digital sort of a world? How could you have analog and digital? They had to go to a payphone, remember, to make, to do the call. And I'm like,
oh, dude,
that's
awesome.
I know it. I was just like, it's just, by the way, the new one, the 2021 version is coming out. I don't know if you saw the trailer, but looks pretty interesting.
And check out this comment from Oscar. He's saying, please don't speak ill of the government. They're trying their best. They just want what's best for everyone. Come on. Yeah, that's right. Come on, Oscar. Said no one ever.
Ever. Said no one ever. Yeah, I mean, yeah, right there. CBD, yes. CBDC, no. Right there. And I'm smelling a shirt right there. I gotta put it on the block over here. Let's throw this up there. Gotta throw that on there. Jeff.
All right.
What you got for
So
the next story?
I've got what do we got next? Oh, so let me see if I can pull this one up. I thought I had it already pulled up, but apparently I did not. So let me just let that run through the ad while we're talking 2 seconds,
Oh, I
and
hate
then
that when
we'll
that happens.
so this was actually a this was from Jeremy Hogan,
Hogan, Mr. Hogan. Yes, we had him
right?
on the
So
show.
I just want to play
Friend of the show.
the yeah, I just want to play the beginning of his video because I thought he kind of had a cool guest on, had a really nice opening, so I thought it'd be kind of cool
So,
to play his opening. Did you see it?
yeah, it's
Because
good.
he's transitioning over to
Yeah.
technical analysis. You hear that?
Oh, right on. It's good stuff too. It's
Pretty
spot
cool.
on.
Yeah.
It looked
Yeah.
good to me too. It's
It was pretty cool. So here we go.
no sound.
I didn't do the sound.
Oh, that's
How do you
right.
like that?
You can't
Huh?
do the sound. Oh, is that one
No,
where you
no,
gotta
I can
like?
do the sound. I forgot to click the sound. Let me click
Well,
the sound.
there you go.
There we
Click
go.
the sound. Let's get sound, man.
Click. You want
There you go.
sound? You
Yeah,
guys
let's
want
do it.
sound?
Why
We're
not?
gonna do the here we go.
Formerly known as Legal Briefs. This is Jeremy Hogan, and I'm excited to announce that we will be rebranding the channel starting today. As the Ripple versus SEC case has become a touch quiet this last month, I began to really study technical crypto trading. And I've been watching the chart guys, blockchain backer, all those guys, and I had to be honest with myself. I am a natural at technical trading. I'm really good. And let's begin with the daily chart for XRP. Now, what you can see right away on this chart is the Fibonacci. Now, you might not know that the Fibonacci ratio is found in nature, and there is nothing more natural than having a bad day. And look at that dip right there back in 2017. That is normal, but it comes right back to a cup and handle formation about 3 years later. It's having a drink, maybe some aged scotch, and that is a good after a bad day.
Hey, Jeremy,
Yeah, Timbu.
please don't do this to our channel.
Do what? I'm really good at this technical stuff.
The rocket,
Jeremy, I
baby.
think you need an intervention, and I have someone here on Zoom for you.
Yes, Jeremy. We all care for you and for legal briefs.
Wait a minute. Who's this?
Here, let me do this here. Hey, what's going on, Jeremy? This is the blockchain backer.
Oh my God. It's the Einstein of technical trading, the man, the myth, the beard, blockchain backer.
Jeremy, I'm really proud of you, man. You could do this, but you got to look at that rally on your chart. The one we're looking at back there in September. What does that tell you?
I mean, doesn't that mean that guys like me just kind of FOMO'd in to XRP?
No, we all know that's the rally prior to the capitulation back in 2018 that led to the bottom of the Bitcoin bear market, leading us into a new bull run that took us to the 4.236 extension. Of course, we're going to have to look to see that there is going to be some type of breakout into the new all-time high with a double tap on top of the all-time high with the bull flag breakout backtest V bottom from that bull flag. As long as we consolidate at the top, we do 5 waves to the upside, 5 Elliott waves, and boom, we're on the moon.
Was that just
The moon.
Maybe you should just stick with the legal stuff.
Legal briefs.
Man,
Hey, everybody, this is the blockchain backer. I love that.
Oh man, that was awesome.
We
That
gotta
was funny.
have blockchain backer on the show. We're bringing him on, man.
We do need to get him on. But that was
Yeah.
awesome. I saw that
He's
today. I'm
too
like,
big
he's
for our channel, Jeff.
rebranding. What's going on over here?
You can't get him. He's too big for our channel, Jeff. There's no way. Blockchain backers like just enormous. You got like 200,000 plus subs, man.
Nice.
And our fledgling little channel, Jeff, ain't possible, man. Not gonna happen.
21,000, like a fraction, like a 10%, 8%. So here we go. So check this one out. All right. So let's weirdly, that all made sense.
Sure did. It's some kind of a weird thing. But what's that other thing they call it? This is called the double cross. They always have like
Double cross, the golden cross,
the golden
double bottom.
cross, the nutty penguins or whatever they talk. I don't know, man. The nutty penguins. Is that one of them or no? I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know. But check this out. So we got Panos was saying to Jeremy and Deaton, he said, "Good evening. I'd like to ask you if you know where I can see the results of the vote that took place at the SEC about the Ripple Labs lawsuit. I've looked on their website, but I don't see it there. Shouldn't they list the voting results?" Interesting, right?
They should,
A lot
for
of people have asked
transparency.
about that. Yeah. So Jeremy said, "I think that's not disclosed until after the litigation." Interesting.
Hmm.
So John says, Jeremy's correct. There was a publication, I can't recall which one off the top of my head, that stated the vote was 3-2 and Clayton was the deciding vote. We will not officially know the result until the conclusion of the case when the SEC publishes it. So that's interesting. So
Well,
if
we
it was
know,
a
Jeff.
3-2 vote, right, and that means he voted in favor, then we pretty much know who voted against.
We know the
A
two
lot
that
said it was unanimous, but nobody knows. Nobody
Reisman
knows.
and Purse were the ones that were the two.
Yep.
Just a guess, Jeff.
Janet Yellen commented.
What did she say?
Janet Yellen said,
Janet Yellen.
Janet Yellen.
Janet
Well,
Yellen.
we assume Jay was for it. 2, maybe a safe assumption that Hester and Elad were against it. That leaves us the remaining 2. There we go. Interesting stuff, Chip. That was the day in review.
There you go. I mean, it's fantastic, Jeff. It really is.
Awesome.
It really is. It really is something special. So I wanted to throw this video up. This is from a, I guess this took place today, apparently.
Sweet.
I'm gonna have to pull up the video. When did this actually take place? Let me look up when it took place. November 17th, testifying to Congress. This is Ms. Goldstein, and she's basically giving her opinion here. But I want you to listen close. She says crypto looks like the history of finances. Let's listen in here.
Not only a researcher of digital asset markets, I am also a user of them. I have used large exchanges. I have used so-called decentralized finance platforms, or DeFi. I have tried out layer 2 solutions, and I have bridged from one blockchain to another. And my impression as a user and a student.
Jeff, I could be wrong here, but I think she lost everybody there. People are like, they bridged 1 and layer 2. What is she talking about?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think she's not only just a researcher, Jeff, she also is a user. Okay, so later she made that very clear and transparent.
Edward, friends.
Yeah, so here you go. Let's listen to Ms. Goldstein here.
Of these systems is that while many claim that this is the future of finance, it looks a lot like the history of finance to me. The space is full of intermediaries and rent seeking. For example, if you wanted to swap one crypto asset.
Well, Jeff, I want you to listen closely here because I think
back
you're
it up. What did you say? Intermediaries and what?
Intermediaries.
If you wanted to swap.
Hang on a second. Let's see. We got to back that up a little more here.
The space is full of intermediaries and rent seeking.
And rent seeking.
What?
Rent seeking? I don't know what she's saying. I don't know what that last word is.
Language we don't know.
I don't know, Jeff, but I want you to pay close attention to this because she's going to be talking about some of your experiences here. Let's listen in.
For example, if you wanted to swap one crypto asset for another on Ethereum today.
Uh-oh, Jeff. If you want to swap one for another, we're getting into some dangerous territory, Jeff. Oh, boy.
You'd have to pay over $100 to a miner to execute your transaction on the Ethereum blockchain. If you wanted to do it last week, it might have cost you hundreds of dollars to do so. If you are a large entity, you can also front-run transactions by effectively bribing the miners. You can essentially up the transaction fee that you want to pay to the miner, and they will execute your transaction before others.
That's not bribing.
Many of these ostensibly decentralized finance platforms also make use of the very same forced arbitration clauses and class action bans that the biggest banks in the United States do, in order to deny their customers the right to sue over disputes in a court of law.
Yeah, that sounds more like market forces, though, really. I mean, quite honestly, it's market forces. But she's like, I mean, you know, if you're going to talk about crypto and you're going to start mentioning Ethereum and gas fees, I mean, it could have cost hundreds of dollars last week, but this week it only cost $100. And you can, since when, Jeff, when can you bribe a miner? Explain to me when there's a scenario where you can bribe a miner.
But it's so comical because, you know, I mean, think about, why don't we address, you know, the regular stock market? How about we address, you know, IPOs?
Thank you.
And those that get into, you know, the pre-IPO. And how about when they launch the IPO? Oh, the IPO launched today at $50, but it opened at 200. Okay, it opened at 200. Who got the $50? You know, why were they not fronted a little bit of benefit? Was somebody bribed in the process? You know, how do you use that kind of language? What in the world's going on here? What side is she on anyways?
I don't know, Jeff. I mean, they always pick somebody who's a researcher. I mean, like, hey, does anybody know a researcher out there that's also a user? I am. Okay. And like, we never heard of this person, Jeff. It's like,
Never.
we're researchers and well, we're more like news readers. I mean, like, the only thing we're not doing is reading a teleprompter, but we can learn how to do that too, Jeff. Okay. It's not that terribly difficult, but we're researchers and users too. But like, there always these people show up in Congress. Usually it has to be an academic. Rent seeking. Yeah. There you go.
I looked
Thank
it up.
you for
Rent seeking. Here it
What
is.
is
Here we go. Rent seeking or rent hyphen seeking. If we have dash on here, then his name is in the middle between rent and seeking. So
Nice.
rent seeking is an economic concept that occurs when an entity seeks to gain added wealth without any reciprocal contribution of productivity. Typically, it revolves around government-funded social services and social programs. So if you're rent seeking, you are accepting or you are expecting a gain of wealth, but you're typically somehow in the social services program somehow, and you're gaining money from other people, kind of like taxes, right? The whole taxation program would be rent seeking. Would then be a distribution of your wealth to other people that would have some expectation of adding to their wealth from your money.
But isn't that called Congress, Jeff? Am I making them? Can't we just call it Congress? I mean, it sounds to me a lot like it's the same thing there to me. I could be wrong. Who knows, Jeff? Rent seeking. So I don't know.
Thank God Oscar was listening.
It's a good thing somebody's paying attention, Jeff.
Rent seeking. Ren. I'm looking up Ren seeking.
I was like, who's Ren? Who is this Ren character anyway? You talk about rent seeking.
Ren?
Well, that's what happens with the younger generation. They don't pronounce like. I noticed some certain words have different pronunciations. For like, for example, there's no T pronunciation. It's rent seeking. No, it's rent seeking.
Rent.
It's rent seeking. So that's like there's no T in there. And I'm like, what's a wren? It's a wren. It's a bird. A WREN is a bird, Jeff.
That's right. It's Ren and Stimpy. That's what I was
Ren and
thinking.
Stimpy. There you go. Ren and Stimpy's key. Yes, yes, yes.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. Look at this, huh?
And the king is saying unrealized rent seeking gains. We should we should collect tax from the government for all those unrealized gains that they're getting from us taxpayers.
Nicely played, King. I like that a lot. And look at this. Apex. Which Ren? Ren or Ren?
That's a good
WREN or REN? Right. Yeah, I think that's what I was actually thinking of the bird. I was like, Ren seeking? Like somebody who chases birds? That's odd.
That's right.
It's like
then how do you know it's rent?
That's a good point. Rent seeking, because you didn't hear that T. You didn't hear the T.
Yep.
So look at this, Jeff. For the first time ever, Ethereum is a first-class currency on the Sotheby's price table, and a bid can be placed in ETH, and 2 Banksy pieces will also feature callouts in ETH directly. Pretty wild to see. That looks like a telethon to me.
What's going on?
That looks like
what are they doing?
This is Sotheby's, Jeff. First of all, this picture right here, if you're, it's like it looks like the worst stock photo you could ever find. It's like, I'm sorry, but someone just stole $4 million out of the till when you weren't looking, and that lady, what? They did what? Everyone's shocked.
That's totally a. Hang on. Oh man,
where's your phone, Jeff? Imagine like you get the worst stock photo in history, and this is it right here. Who do you got, Jeff? Got Gensler on there. You got Gary.
I got a one bid for 10K.
You got a bid for 10K. What do you got? 10, 12, 15, 15, 15. We got 30K? Let's
30K. 30K.
There you go. Let's do it. She doesn't look happy, Jeff. She doesn't believe you. I can tell the look on her face.
Everybody call in. The number is 555-1212.
It's 555 MIT. MIT, Jeff. That's what it would be. That's what it would be. What the heck just happened, Jeff?
Do you think they're actually using corded phones? Is that for real? Is that from like the 80s?
Jeff, put that back up there, because the whole just looking at the word corded phone, it just looks wrong. I don't know. Something looks really odd about it.
What does that even mean? It just sounds weird. Look, right? It's corded.
Sotheby's equals pomposity squared. Yes, it does. But for $41 million, that's what you end up with.
41.
You end up with the Constitution. Now, the funny thing about the Constitution DAO, Jeff, like, like a normal DAO, you're basically for $41 million. I forgot how many people, participants, not as many as you would think, but for
Nope.
those many participants,
Yep,
you
one
have
person.
a say in what happens to it. In other words, where it's displayed. You don't own a fractional part of it. And that's the weirdest thing about it. It's like, now I can see if you're a fractional owner. Let's say there's 1,000 people, you own 1/1000th of an original copy of the
That would
U.S.
be
Constitution.
that would
But
be
no, you just have a vote and saying what happens to it. Should we hang it at the local McDonald's? No. I mean, and then you're like, what the hell? I spent $1 million on this. Why not? Put it at the local McDonald's, put it in a frame. I don't care. Why not?
See,
It
it's
could
the
happen, Jeff.
Jerry Lewis Marathon.
Oh boy, remember that? I used to stay up all night to watch that, Jeff, and it turned out that I would only stay up like 1 hour and fall asleep because it was so boring.
Oh man.
Man, those were the days in the what are those in the 80s and 90s? I don't know.
Good,
I
the
was a
good
kid,
old
that was
days
fun to watch. Yeah.
when the 800 and 900 numbers advertised on TV.
Yeah. Back in the day. And I don't know if anybody ever got that money, Jeff, but it seemed really great. You're like, we're gonna hit this new high, and you're like, yay, and you're like, you don't care. I mean, nobody really was all that excited about it. I mean, it was like it's just something that happened.
That's right. So, all right. So I want to jump into this one. This is Stellar is getting in on the Ripple action, right? Check that out. MoneyGram announces a new pilot. This was just today. New pilot with the Stellar Development Foundation. Settlements are almost instant as users could arrange payments with Stellar's USDC.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, next story.
Getting in on the action. Western Union, MoneyGram. MoneyGram, a remittance-focused company. Do you know that?
Yeah, of course.
Announced a new pilot in the Stellar blockchain after inking a partnership with the SDF, which is the Stellar Development Fund. According to the blog post, both parties agreed to launch a live cash-in, cash-out pilot in the U.S. That's interesting. What are they going to do? They're going to deposit their cash into their wallets at a participating MoneyGram and send payments internationally utilizing Stellar's USDC. And they get to exchange that USDC for any fiat currency supported on the MoneyGram platform. But, I looked at that and I said, hey, you know what? Stellar's getting in on that Ripple action. It's kind of like Ripple's X, and then you got Stellar coming in. And so you got two of Ripple's X's, right? You got Stellar.
Right.
It was an X, right? Kind of a spin-off X. And then you got MoneyGram, which is kind of like an X. And they came together, right? And now they're creating this whole new program over here.
Well, that was also the fallout, basically, which happened with with Ripple. They had to like disengage because they didn't want the SEC coming after them. They didn't need that heat, and that's another potential damage that's been done not only to Ripple business, but also, they were leveraging the on-demand liquidity, and again, it just hurts. It hurts investors all the way around. There's like so much of that happened.
Everybody got hurt, but you know what? In this case, though, I have to say that when Ripple was partnered with MoneyGram, the whole retail aspect of it didn't really make a lot of sense to me in terms of how MoneyGram was going to use it. I say, you know what? MoneyGram is more retail facing. RippleNet and the solution with ODL, not so much retail facing. It's more enterprise level. And so they were kind of dabbling in it, which is pretty much why MoneyGram got the benefit out of ODL for their foreign currency exchange, for their FX, which they benefited from, but they didn't really utilize it for any of their retail transaction because it didn't really fit per se. Stellar, on the other hand, their whole objective starting out was all retail. They wanted micro payments. They want small payments. They wanted to reach out to those that they called unbanked and help them. And MoneyGram moves money across borders to people that need money, right? From, people that are working internationally. So you bring these two together, you get instant settlement utilizing small amounts of money. I think it's a kind of a marriage made in heaven. It was meant to happen, meant to be. But MoneyGram, guess who tested it? Ripple tested it out and said to their offshoot, hey, you know what? Maybe you guys could use this.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you on that because that's the old conversation. The old conversation was, one's retail and one's no. Ripple was looking at moving all the money. It didn't matter if it's retail or whatever. And Ripple's really claimed to fame as money transmitters, and MoneyGram's a money transmitter. So On one sense, I
are.
get where you're going with that, but I mean, as far as a money transmitter, and especially dealing with the effects market, that I think that's really
That was
that's
important.
where they were really doing well. So, and also putting down rails so that they could move the money. But they're just it sounds like they're just dealing with the U.S. still, right? Is that what it sounds like? Is that what the article goes on to say? It's just the U.S.
Doesn't really say. Timeline. So it says here the remittance-focused company is a former Ripple partner, which Stellar is a competitor to the blockchain firm behind the development of XRP. The new service expected to be available worldwide in 22. As a pilot, will go live in select markets during this year. Moreover, United Texas Bank will serve as a settlement bank between MoneyGram and Circle, which is the issuer of the USDC stablecoin. But I tend to agree, from that perspective, what you're talking about, MoneyGram is one of the big institutions. They are the enterprise institution that is utilizing the Ripple net and making all the transactions happen. And they're the ones that need to move large sums of money. I think the difference here, though, is that MoneyGram is every transaction that they move is small. Whereas RippleNet is meant to move big amounts of money. MoneyGram isn't moving millions and millions of dollars. They're moving $100, $50, $200. So still from that perspective, Stellar is a good fit. However, what you're saying, I think there's really, at the end of the day, Stellar, the Stellar Foundation, and Ripple with RippleNet. So you have XLM and XRP. The two of them need to come together because a project like this, how is MoneyGram going to settle their FX? How are they going to work what are they going to do without liquidity?
Well, Jeff, when the Primo solution is not available, you take whatever's laying around. And so the USD smart contract available on Ethereum, Algorand, Solana, Stellar, Tron. How did Tron walk in there? It's Tron like four digital assets walk into a bar, and out comes Tron. It's very strange, Jeff.
Yeah, Tron doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Tron doesn't make any sense at all, but there you go. But there you have it. Tron's there, and they're doing their thing. They're doing their thing, Jeff. I don't know what that means exactly, but yeah, I mean, well, good for them. I mean, what are you going to do?
So, hey, Chip, on Monday night, we are going to have a special guest with us, better known as Congressman Tom Emmer.
Yeah, that's going to be fantastic, Jeff. I'm so looking forward to this. I can't wait to, talk to a guy that's like we play him all the time. We play his videos all the time. So how great is that going to be to actually watch him on the chain, and and it's a second congressman, and then we're going to get more too. I mean, we need to have a couple, I would like to get, Senator.
We need to get Toomey?
Kennedy? No, Kennedy would be a scream. Just ask
how about
McHenry? McHenry, of course, that'd be another good one too.
Yeah,
how about Cynthia Lummis? I'd love to get Cynthia Lummis on here.
Lummis would be good.
So, can you imagine how good that would be?
Oh man, it'd be awesome. So check this out. So JV had shared this with us. I don't know if JV's on tonight, but Jerry Brito had put out a tweet, which is this one that said, good morning. Some good news. A comprehensive bipartisan bill has just been introduced in the House to fix everything wrong with the infrastructure bill's crypto tax provision, including the unconstitutional 60501 individual reporting mandate. Now, I find that interesting, because there's so many things that are being orchestrated and going on right now. And then I look at McHenry behind the introduction of this brand new bill, and they have to. Why is it that they, the Senate and this administration passes an infrastructure bill, crams in crypto legislation, within a week they have to fix it because it's broken, right? Everybody knows it doesn't work. So they're automatically bipartisan, introducing a bill to fix what they broke, what they introduced that was bad. And I find that amazing and so here they have addressed the crypto. No, thanks. Come on now. Hate that. What is this? So introduce crypto tax reporting. Now to get more exciting about it. So here you have HR 6006 to amend the IRS code of 1986 to clarify the definition of broker and for other purposes. Now, this is really key. So this is from Patrick McHenry in the Ways. It's in the Ways and Means Committee. It was just introduced, new action. So that was yesterday. And this to me, Chip, is exciting. Why? Because look at this. Let's see if we can open it. Look at all the co-sponsors. We got Tim Ryan, Kevin Brady. We've got Kana Rowe. You've got Ro Kana, Tom Emmer, who we're gonna have on Monday. Eric Swalwell. Okay, Warren
Weird.
Davidson, Darren Soto, Anthony Gonzalez, and Ted Budd. Now, Ted Budd, Darren Soto, Warren Davidson, Tom Emmer, Ro Kana, all of them have been on multiple legislation that has been introduced. So this one, look at this. Look how many people have come out. Now you look at the bill that was crammed through, Chip, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Democrats all jumping into this bipartisan bill that also say, hey, you know what? This thing's broken.
Big time. Yeah, and I think, and this tweet right here kind of like really sort of sums it up. This is Patrick McHenry's tweet, and like great choice of words right here. He's like, I introduced the bipartisan bill with Rep. Tim Ryan to fix the new poorly constructed digital ad reporting requirements. But again, this bill was just colossal, it was massive. And it's like, oh, let's just push it through and let's call it the infrastructure bill. And let's pretend that less than 10% goes to infrastructure. The Keep Innovation in America Act, which I like, because this is what we always talk about. What happens is this is pushing all the innovation away from, I didn't mean to click on that, but apparently I did. There you go. And it will provide clarity to innovators deploying the next generation of internet technology. And then this from the Financial Services GOP Republican leader Patrick McHenry and Tim Ryan introduced it. The legislation fixes the new digital asset reporting requirements and more clarity for innovators. But it's not enough clarity, Jeff. That's why we don't need cops on the beat like Gary Gensler making, trying to interpret what's really happening versus what's happening. So I'm glad that that's coming up. Now, I hope it gets a little bit more support. It does have bipartisan support. And I do think they realize they have to fix it because right now it's so open-ended that it doesn't even make sense in any universe, but except for Congress's. So there you go.
That's right. Now check this out. So, so it's interesting. While that's coming out, right? That was introduced yesterday. Now today they brought Saule Omarova in front of the Senate, right? And they're questioning her on a lot, right? She's really presented some very bizarre ideas, and she's being nominated for the comptroller of the currency position, right? So it's one of the most critical positions to hold. And the way they spun things, people are concerned about her background. People are concerned about some of the things that she's been saying for her whole career. And most recently this year, last year, the year before that. But the way some of the questioning of those that support her spun it to where they said, oh, they're questioning where you come from. They're saying that you have Marxist ideas because you came from Russia. And that's not at all what they said. They said she has presenting Marxist ideas because guess what? She presented Marxist anti-private institution ideas as late as and early as this past year.
Yeah.
And she continues with it. So I find it interesting. And I was tweeting on our Telegram earlier today when it was going on that
wait, you were tweeting on our Telegram? Wait a minute. Hang on a second. I'm going to back that up. You can't tweet on Telegram.
I was telegramming.
You're posting on Telegram.
Posting. That's the word I was looking for.
My goodness.
And I'm going to use tweeting as like Kleenex or tissue, right?
Okay.
No, I was posting on Telegram, but check this out. So Lummis was questioning her about cryptocurrency. And it was interesting because she said that it poses as a national security threat. Right. So it's kind of crazy. Let's see if we can hear it. See if she starts here. Is there no audio? Oh, there we go.
It's very low.
What's going on
I
here?
had never read any.
Yeah, is the audio up?
Written, and it seems to me there's
Nope.
a big disconnect between the
How's that?
person I met in
Better
my
or no?
office
No, it's hard to hear,
and
man.
writing.
Oh, this is a bad copy. It's on. All right, we'll find a better one. But anyhow, so the point is that she was asking her about digital currency, digital asset, and she said she's concerned and that she thinks that it's a national security threat, digital assets. And she was even referencing stable coins, Bitcoin, stable coin versus a CBDC. And then she got into Bitcoin and other around that. And it was interesting to hear how Cynthia Lummis was questioning her on it. And, it was shocking, because it's just amazing. It's just eye opening. And Chip, yesterday, while we're in the middle of the stream, I got a text from someone that's going to be running for Congress over here. And so I called her after the show, and she was talking about, she's excited about the digital asset space. And
That's awesome.
it's fantastic. And I was telling her, I said, if you want to beat the person you're running against, you take a very, good stance on cryptocurrency, but you got to educate yourself on it. And so you get a little bit of knowledge behind you. And I was telling her about Lummis and Emmer and Bud and Davidson and all these people. And I said, you're going to be in very good company with all these people. The mayor of Miami, Darren Soto in Orlando, said you gravitate to that. The person you're running against, I was telling her, has no clue and won't talk about it at all because she's dropped off the face of the earth for the past 2 years. Nobody hears from her anymore. So, but this is the direction, man. I'm more convinced than ever. If you want to win an election right now and you're running, you take a very pro stance on cryptocurrency, and you're going to get a ton of people backing and supporting you. What do you think?
No, I think you're right on. I mean, nobody's going to go, hey, I think we should go back to writing checks, Jeff. This whole idea of like using cards or crypto, it just seems too quick for me. I'm always the person, even to this day, if you have a lot of elderly, you're just trying to run through the supermarket. You're trying to get I've got one item, right? There's somebody, and then in front of me is a beautiful older lady who's writing, like she's signing the Declaration of Independence. She's big swish up and a little thing and a little like this. And I'm like, and I'm watching her and she's writing her name. I just do a giant X if I'm signing something. Sir, can you sign it? I put an X. Is there an official checker, Jeff? So this whole thing is kind of odd to me, the whole thing in itself. But Cynthia Lummis is absolutely a national hero. It's so fantastic to see her energy. Thank God she's a freshman in Congress. And wow, what a great, she's just going in there and doing the people's work. And most of the people are doing the bidding of the special interest groups and lobbyists, not the crypto lobbyists, because I don't think they really exist. I know they spend money, but apparently they're spending it in the wrong places, or there's not enough money there. But anyway, that was just the rant I had to go on, Jeff. It happens.
Awesome.
It happens. What else you got over there? I was trying to find that too. I was looking for it. I just couldn't find a good version of it. Or it was a long version. I couldn't find it.
Everyone said they could hear it. So I'm just trying to find the one spot.
If you can find it. Yeah, I can hear it. It's just a little on the low side. But
I found it.
Okay.
I found it.
Let's do it. Let's put it up there.
There we go. All right. There it is. All right. Everybody said they could hear it. So this is good. So let's play it.
Get on board with.
Hang on.
I want to explore a little bit some of your discussions about stablecoins, CBDCs. I got the impression that you believe only in fiat currency. Am I correct in that regard?
No, Senator. Well, let me explain that.
Oh, please do.
As an academic, I am struggling with.
Chip, this is the
say
problem,
no more.
right?
Say no more, Jeff. Get her out. Get the big hook and.
As an academic, I mean, she's being
You lost me at
nominated
academic, Jeff.
at the most critical positions in government, and she has to say, as an academic, stay in academia, because as an academic, all you do is just research and discuss possibilities that are
horrible.
outside of the realms of reality. But let's see what she says. Hang on. Hang on.
Figuring out, what the future holds with respect to digital currencies. We are very much in the state of flux now. Technologies are evolving very quickly. My concern, and I have expressed those concerns, is that despite all of the obvious benefits of private digital assets or digital currencies with respect to efficiencies, inclusion, and all these other benefits, we may end up in a situation where, for example, a large company, like a big tech company, might control all of the infrastructure through which the money that every American family, every American business uses in their daily lives moves.
Does that, and that bothers you?
That worries me
Why?
because private companies, as you know, are pursuing private profits, and that is absolutely what they should be doing. And sometimes the pursuit of private profit may cut into our public interest in, for example, allowing everybody equal access, safe access to money.
How do you
payment
think
system.
that you as a regulator
Mhm.
can make the judgments calls that people don't have adequate access to capital when countries like El Salvador have recognized Bitcoin as legal tender specifically to grant people more access to capital?
Senator, I have not been to El Salvador, but my understanding is that before El Salvador recognized Bitcoin as its official currency, they were using US dollar. And the US dollar is,
Wow.
to me, the best money in the world.
Okay, so do you believe, I want to return to that question. Do you believe that a government issued representation of currency, of value, is superior to private commerce?
I believe that we do have government issued money right now in this country, and it's working great. And I worry about allowing private innovation to undermine a lot of important public policies that we need to pursue in this country.
Okay,
I find that interesting, Chip. When she references, she's worried about private innovation that is going to undermine public policy. I find that interesting. And she also talks about government money when, obviously the country has sovereign right over the printing of the money, but the monetary flow is controlled by the Fed.
Right. That's exactly right. But Jeff, let me translate what she was saying there. She said, "From each according to his ability, to each according to his needs." Did that come out of remark? Karl Marx. She was like, I thought she was getting ready to get up on top of the desk. You know what worries me? Anybody like this even coming anywhere near a hearing. Okay, somebody that said you should get rid of all the banks and so they could have private banks for the Federal Reserve. Okay, some outside entity, never been audited, from 1913. No one knows what the hell the balance sheet looks like. We saw the Board of Governors, 4 of them resign because they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. This is ludicrous. You had Brooks that had the previous position in the office of the comptroller, and we want to put her in charge of the money, the banks. She said all banks should be destroyed. There are no private banks. This is somebody who's a number 1 class A Marxist, and you should not let her anywhere near academia. She's teaching, kids. I mean, this nutty stuff. She's worried. I'm worried. I'm terrified to think this woman's anywhere near to being confirmed. And I've heard that even the Dems are souring on her because it's a hand grenade. There's no way you can confirm her. She's a nut job.
Let's just play this last clip here. There's the last thought here. Hang on.
what are those public policies?
Well, for example, national security. National security is a very important public policy.
Do you
in my
think
view.
that Bitcoin threatens national security?
I'm not an expert on Bitcoin, but I would worry if all of our financial transactions were up to some blockchain system where, various actors who might actually be located in other countries, not particularly friendly to us, control the functioning of that system. That would be my worry, yes.
You did respond to the gentleman from Rhode.
I find that interesting. So the way she phrases it, Chip, you'd almost have to agree that yes, you don't want a rogue actor or another state to control the ebb and flow of your money. But she's worried about the blockchain and the decentralized nature of the blockchain. And she comes out and says, well, I don't understand Bitcoin, but I don't understand it, but I'd be concerned if someone controlled it. Well, if you understand the ebb and flow of decentralization, then, you'd have a different approach on that.
Well,
If you
no,
understand the
Jeff,
blockchain.
she does understand it. That's the whole point. She likes centralization. The elites want to be the ones who are the academics, the ones who have the doctorate in front of their name. They want to be the ones controlling us. And look who just walked in here. Nothing but Alex D. Vlogs is in here. Hey, condolences for Moon Lambo. Go XRP. If you guys don't know, Moon Lambo's mom passed away. So a couple days back. So yeah, thank you for that. And always, sending lots of prayers for Moon Lambo. Another treasure in our community, does phenomenal videos, and always sad when something like that happens. So yeah, prayers. Appreciate that, Alex. Thank you for bringing that up.
Sophie is saying, I'll be shocked if she doesn't get it. Everything is upside down. But here's the point with all of this. And this is where a lot of people, they say, hey, don't bring politics into crypto. Don't talk about politics because we just want to hear about the good stuff of crypto. And Shiv, I know we're on the same page with this, but if you don't understand, or you don't even want to pay attention to what's going on in the periphery and politics, then your crypto, you might as well give it away. You might as well get rid of all of it and don't worry about it anymore, because if you don't understand what's impacting your monetary flow, whether it's fiat or whether it's crypto, then you're just along for the ride. And if you want to have, self-sufficiency, then you better understand who they're putting in office. And that's in every single country. And a lot of other countries, they get the dynamic here. They are understanding that in order for them to get some freedom and liberation from the overreaching centralization of their government institutions, they have to turn to digital assets, right, Chip?
Well, that's where you get the central bank in Russia saying, oh, we think this is going to be so much better than Bitcoin. It's not. Every government's going to fight it because it basically threatens their existence. And in the end, we all know that decentralization, crypto wins. It's already too late. I like this from Flooring Guy. He says, I'm from the former Soviet Union, Moscow State University, accepted only elite kids. How does it that our government doesn't know that? We can't let her become in charge, period. Full stop. I agree with that. Absolutely, Flooring Guy. This is the craziest thing, that out of all the crazy people in academia, this nut job who thinks banks should be eliminated, private institutions, private banking should go away. She wants to basically hire the Fed. The Federal Reserve is going to control your life. You'll be told what to do. It's like somebody, one of my favorite writers, he goes by OM. He wrote this beautiful article about what it's like to drive as an adult. And I'm like, wow, I remember that when I was 15, 16 years old. It was stressful. You didn't know all those early days, but to do it as an adult, be in your late 40s, early 50s, has to be even more stressful, because when you're a kid, you can kind of roll with it, but one of the things that I said, he said, well, I'm getting excited about electric cars. And I had brought him back and said, here's why I'm not, not electric cars, but electric self-drive cars. And one reason I said is, well, no. That's what the government's going to want you to believe. Oh, no. They're going to tell you where you can charge it. And then they're going to have control over which path you take it. Like, I love going down the scenic route. Oh, no. Central planners can't have that, Jeff. We're going to control traffic. We want you to go the other way around town. We're going to make all one-way streets. You're going to get there when you get there. That's what I worry about. And I don't ever want to have a self-driving car, because I will like my freedom. I like to get my big gas-guzzling truck, four-wheeler, and I like to just drive down the highway and take out poles as I fly by them, Jeff. That's what I like to do. I absolutely love to do that. I want to throw this up here. This was so Robert Cargill put this up here. He's a writer. You probably know him, but Dr. Strange, Black Phone, he does a lot of stuff, right? He put this up. He's like, the character I am versus the character I want to be. There's Nick Cage staring at the typewriter versus, typing away. And in Ripple's own, I thought was great. Reinhard Kate, Reinhard, he does all of the Ripple drops. And this is, he says, the character I am on the left versus the character I want to be. So, I had to get involved with that a little bit and play a little bit with that. So I put this one up, Jeff, the character I am on the left versus the character I want to be, 007, cool cars, driving everywhere, explosions, all that kind of stuff, Jeff. You got to put one of those versus the Jim Carrey, running through the, but yeah, that was a fun little thing. So yeah, I just thought it was fantastic. We should keep that going. Someone should go find that tweet of mine, and let's keep that chain going. We got Reinhardt, you got Chip. Who's the next one in line? let's see the character you are versus the character you want to be. I don't know. I thought that was a fun thing to partake in. You gonna do that, Jeff?
I'll come up with something. That's hilarious.
Come up with something, Jeff. I'm sure you got something good. And that's all we have, Jeff. That's it. Just out of nowhere, boom. That's all we have. And gosh, what a great time it's been, Jeff.
It is. You know what? And it's awesome to see. I'm watching the commentary coming through, and everybody in the comments. I'm seeing a ton of new names. I'm seeing a ton of OG names. It's awesome. So if you guys are out there and you're just sitting in the background listening, it's so amazing when you engage in the conversation too. You don't have to. No pressure. But there's a whole show going on over in the sidebar here in our platform. So we love seeing the chat, scroll through. It's awesome. We've got by far the smartest in the entire space, Chip. And when we stream?
I do. I have an idea. It's Sunday through Thursday from 8 p.m. Eastern time to 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then Saturday mornings from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. I just read that, Jeff. It's on our website.
Man, that's pretty good. Oh, it must be true.
Come over to our website, onthechain.io. It's another way if you guys want to look around here and you want to see our daily shows. But also, too, if you want to see other places where you can listen to it, Apple, Spotify, you just click here. We do have another channel. It's kind of not being supported right now. You can support OTC if you want. And, of course, the most recent shows. This is the new one on tap there. Join the OTC family right on the homepage. Email, full name. After the show, you'll get all the links that we send over. And I love this quote right here by Garlinghouse. If you own a security, it gives you ownership of a company. If Ripple goes away, XRP will continue trading. Send that in an email. Can we just fly that by Gensler's office on like one of those drones with a little sign behind it? Because that just basically ends the case right there. Ripple goes away. XRP will continue trading.
One of those beach planes. One of the beach planes. The planes that fly down the coast.
Right, those two. Right in front of his office, Jeff.
Flying around his office.
Yeah, I think that would be fantastic. And then I can't wait for the interview section here to be not very, very soon. We'll have none other than Representative Tom Emmer. We'll be jumping right in here. If you want to listen to our interviews, the interviews are all right here. Any of the people that we've spoken to. And of course, you can just continue loading them all day long and seeing what we're doing in here. And of course, the podcast as well. When you go to a podcast page, you can just basically break it down. And this is where you can listen to the show right there, and you can watch it. And there's some of the links down below, the articles we discuss. That's the stuff we talk about.
It's cool too, because you go into the article section and we got the articles, but we also put some commentary. So that's also very cool. That's nice.
Yep. It's all good stuff, man. All good stuff. And that's all I got, Jeff. Let's get on out of here.
Today's Thursday, isn't it?
It is Thursday. Crazy, right?
So we won't be on tomorrow night. I'll be back on Saturday morning, and then Chip and I back right here
on
the
chain. I'm supposed to say on. You're supposed to say the chain. Ready, Jeff? On
the chain.
No, you're supposed to say the on
the
chain. The chain. On the chain. On the chain.
Okay, start over again.
On
the
chain.
Boom. We're out of here.
That's really slow. That's really bad reactions by both of us. Horrible. Horrible. Hello, one person who's still left watching the show. Thank you very much for sticking around for that. Horrible.
Like, these clowns. Unsubscribe.
That was horrible, Jeff. It was absolutely horrible, but that was good. What are you going to do?
It was awesome.
You ready to get out of here? All right, let's go. You guys have a good one. We'll see you on the next one. Chip and Jeff out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.